Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the video and article that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those books that are still tucked away in those cheap boxes, those discount bins, those cheap dollar boxes, or in some cases, $2 boxes. Wherever you're finding your cheap comic books, these are some of the things you can go and find, hopefully, based off of some of the recent news, rumors, announcements, things going on in the comics, etc. Just basically some news story ideas that give me some ideas of some books to go and look for myself that I'm also sharing with you guys. Some things will be worth a little more than you might expect. Some things will be some first appearances, just kind of hodgepodge, kind of scavenger hunt kind of style list of books that we can tie into things going on again with the recent news and comics. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. We are on our way to 3K. And if you want to see what books I got for you this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Okay, so it might be a short one this week. Well, the show itself has gotten a little bit shorter as the weeks have gone on, but it is what it is. Not a ton of news this week, but a few things I thought were kind of interesting. Starting off with a possible spoiler. So if you don't like spoilers, then maybe you might want to skip this, but potentially a spoiler from the upcoming Marvels movie with Captain Marvel, related to some things that they posted regarding some toys. So I think these are actually going to be the McDonald's Happy Meal toys tie-ins. So I don't even know where this tweet was from because it's not listed here in English, but they're basically showing Prince Yan, who we know was cast in the movie, as well as Princess Carol, who obviously it makes it seem like they're getting hitched maybe in some fashion during this movie. It's possible, right? I mean, there was kind of a weird storyline like that played out in the Captain Marvel run from 2014, which is the first appearance of Prince Yan, who this book's already kind of heated up a tiny bit because he got cast, but now there might even be closer ties to his appearances if there isn't some sort of wedding bells in here. Because there's this whole story with Leela Cheney from the X-Men side of things. So she was supposed to be marrying somebody, and then he was proposing to her, as you can see here. Captain Marvel 9, and you can see the little Miss Lila, I don't know how you say it properly. Anyway, Lila Cheney, and like I was getting to, in the story, you can see he's even, you're looking to tie the knot. It's almost like he's proposing. It's more like a joke. It was a weird like story. They were talking in rhymes, and she couldn't rhyme. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do like anything like that in the movie. I'm just pointing out the fact that yes, this I believe is his first appearances. Yes, they might tie in to some sort of wedding angle. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Bottom line is, go and look for this book because you might make yourself a couple of bucks if you can find a Captain Marvel 9 out of those cheap boxes. That whole 2014 run is kind of where they revamped her a little bit. We got the mohawk coming out of the mask, which was a nice look that we didn't have long enough in the movies, but hopefully it comes back. But this book, even though there's some cheap sales right here for only $5 from my comic shop and then $9 just in the last couple of days, if you look at some of the asking prices are closer to like $20, $25 right now. Does that mean this is heating up? I don't know, but just look for it in the cheap box, and maybe you make yourself a couple of bucks if you want to try to flip it. Nothing wrong with doing that. If you like to flip books you find in the dollar bins, I used to do that a lot. I just don't have the time or the patience to really go and do that kind of deep digging and selling and listing. It's a lot of work, but if you want to hustle, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. Up next, we're going to hop on over to the DC side of things with another potential spoiler from the movies. I feel bad with the spoilers, but I can't blame myself on this one. This is actually the director spoiling part of his own movie with this story, confirming that a character's going to die in the movie. No, it's not Blue Beetle, and I don't think it's really going to give much away of the plot. It's one of those tropes that you can kind of expect in a superhero origin story, like someone close to the hero is going to pass away, so they learn responsibility, etc. In this case, what the director in an interview kind of let spilled the beans on this already, so I don't feel so bad spilling the beans to you guys that Jamie Reyes, or Jaime Reyes, his father Alberto, is going to apparently die in the middle of the story, which will drive things forward. And his uncle is probably going to be helping him along with things, George Lopez. He's probably going to help him along with things as we saw in the kind of trailer already. So a lot's already kind of been spoiled anyway, just by watching the trailers. But the director decided to spill this one too. If you're curious or if you're interested, well, Alberto actually did first appear in the comics, but not until this Blue Beetle, the new 52 run of this title with the new, with the new Blue Beetle. So this is his first appearance. Yes, it's a #1, but this is not like the first appearance of Blue Beetle. This kind of comes in a little bit later, so you can sometimes find this a little bit cheaper than the other versions you might find out there. So you can see even right here some recent sales: $1.25 and $5. But there are some more expensive sales and some more, ask more around that $5 mark. It's not a pricey book, and I'm not saying it should be, but a lot of his extended, like his family and whatnot, are first appear here as we get a little bit more of, Jamie Reyes' supporting cast in this story. So it is kind of a mildly important book if you want to tie things in with the comics to what we're going to see on screen. And maybe you look towards this. Go dig it out of a box is all I'm saying. Moving on. Again, I don't got a lot for you this week, so this might be like 15 minutes or less for all I know. I know I'm actually filming this at like 9:15 on Thursday. I should have filmed it a little earlier, but I had flag football and coming back, we had to eat dinner, and then I needed to grab a shower because it was like 90 degrees out there watching the kids play. But so I needed to get freshened up a little bit before I decided to sit down and film. That's it. I'm still going to try to rush and get this out tonight, hopefully by 10:30. We'll see. We'll see how fast I can film and edit. I guess I should stop babbling on. With that, the next little bit I thought was kind of interesting was a little side story I saw on comicbook.com, comicbookmovie.com, I should say, where apparently there was a deleted scene from Into the Spider-Verse. We were going to see the bar with no name. I don't know if you know much about the bar with no name, but it's almost kind of like it's like Max from the Dresden Files is kind of how I feel about it. It's just like a place where even heroes, even mostly villains, but even heroes can just go down, share a drink. It's almost like neutral ground. Nobody mess with anybody. Nobody conduct any business here. You can just kind of a meeting place of sorts. Interesting idea, fun concept. I think it would have been cool if they would have had that little Easter egg. I wouldn't mind to see that Easter egg in the MCU too, but I'll take what I can get. But right now, the scrap post-credit scene is the closest we've got. But if you're interested in this topic and this idea, this bar with no name actually first appeared in Captain America. Captain America 318 to be precise. Within the guts of this book, if you go and read it, they're even describing it. It's a place where criminals can relax, socialize, and make important business contacts. It is also called, by those who patronize it, they call it anything at all, the bar with no name. If they call it anything at all, they call it the bar with no name. And you get a little bits inside. Kind of fun. Like I said, it's a fun concept, fun idea. And this is also a cheap book. I know location first isn't really something that people collect, but this is supposed to be for fun. This is supposed to be for fun and give you something to go and hunt when you go and dig in those boxes. And you hit a stretch of cap and you miss out on all the John Walkers and the other key books of the time. Even D-Man was close to this time. You miss out on the first appearance of D-Man. Maybe you find the bar with no name. Just saying. Keep an eye out. Blue streak on the cover might help you out. It even looks like he got the cap on the motorcycle with his new headgear. It almost looks like the Italian Cap movie. Remember that one? That's what this kind of looks like on this cover. That said, this book, you can see, sells for not much, $3.75, $5. You're not going to get rich if you find these books. That's why this is mostly for fun. Comics should be fun, after all. Asking prices, $3, $5, up to 10. Maybe you get a $10 one. But just a fun thing to go dig out of a box, right? And while you're at it, if you do want to try to make yourself a few dollars and make some money while digging in the box, start looking towards some oddball things that, I don't know. I've always looked for these oddball things when I go digging, the Animaniacs, the DuckTales, things like, because that's stuff I like. But even things that I don't particularly care for because they weren't my cup of tea, but I remember them, the Rainbow Brights, even the My Little Pony stuff. You can find an audience for it, much like there is now an audience for Barbie. New movie coming. Looks like it could be entertaining. I don't know. I'll check it out. I don't know if I'm going to see it in the theater or not, but I'll give it a go. Tornado is showing that the new teasing new movie, etc. Just tying into this movie, we've already seen some copies sell of Barbie 1. Granted, this is not the first appearance per se of Barbie. There's magazines and all those things that go back a while, ways back. But the Marvel Comics run is more accessible to people, and this is one that people kind of like gravitate towards. That's comic collectors that they want to go and flip and point things, point towards. So Barbie #1 from that Marvel series, yeah, is an interesting book. It'll get you a couple of bucks, but there are a few throughout the run. Some are harder to find. Newsstand will get you a premium in a lot of cases, but you look at some covers that jump out at you. Look, they're in Skipper. They're doing some Jane Fonda electric exercise aerobic workout there. #10. Final issue, last to know. I always like to point out the final issue. Issue 63 of this Barbie run is the final one. So another one you want to keep an eye out for. Why? Well, that's actually probably the most valuable one of the run. First issue, it's like $10, as you can see there. One sold for $9, but that last issue sold for $40. So when you're digging, keep that in mind. I believe this was also one where I saw like a newsstand on that last issue. Somebody had like a crazy like $400 ask or something on it. I don't know if it was this title or if it was the next title, which we're going to get into. But before I get there, let's just look at the asking prices. Barbie 1 could be like $6 to $10. Like I said, not a ton of money, not going to make you rich, but that final issue, could net you 40. You saw one sold not that long ago for that same price. Just some fun information to have when you're digging in a box. But other series that's actually probably harder to find and has some more interesting covers, especially if you're into that kind of thing, is Barbie Fashion. That's the title that you also want to keep an eye out for. Again, you got your issue 1, which is fine, well and good, but it's more some of those other issues that are going to kind of jump out at you, almost in that kind of vein of grabbing Archie covers, where you're looking at things like, where there's any sort of fun innuendo jokes, homages to other things, beach pics, things like that. There's an audience for that. I know it's a Barbie comic. Probably shouldn't be, whatever. Hey, people collect what they want to collect. If it jumps out at you, grab it. So things that stick out this time of year, hey, the Stars and Stripes. Look at that, issue 6. But then you got things like issue 13 with her swimming underwater with all the tiger fish or whatever the hell that is. These types of things, again, will get you a little bit of a premium. We're looking at like $10 for issue 1. Stars and Stripes, they're sold for $12 recently. And the fishy one also sold for like $10. So these are the things you can possibly dig out of a dollar box and get yourself like $10-12. Just saying. Asking prices could even be more. We are looking for 15 on that Stars and Stripes, and then 30 and 35 on the Tigerfish right there. So, know your audience, know what other people are looking for, and if Betty and Veronica taught us anything, you can look for that same stuff with these Barbie comics. I believe James Kreider shared this next one on his Instagram not that long ago, which also got me thinking about this, apart from the recent Barbie movie news and commercials, etc. But he had this one, which is issue 39. Reminds me of that Veronica issue where she was under, was it Veronica or is it Betty? Can't remember which one of them. Whatever, I think it's Veronica, but underwater, looking at the treasure chest, issue 39 of Barbie Fashion. Yeah, it's going to draw some attention. Other issues near the end of the run and at the end of the run, you got a Mermaid 1 on issue 22 that does all right for itself, and the final issue of this series, issue 53. Maybe this is the one where there was a newsstand asking a crazy price. Go check eBay, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I didn't list it here. I just kind of randomly put some stuff up just to give you some ballpark information, some roundabout numbers, and you can see sometimes you'll see some lots of books, like we have issues 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So it's 5 issues that has that Mermaid issue in it. $48. So that's still like $10 an issue. And then you got the final issue 53 with the issue before, the penultimate issue 52. So 2 issues, $30 right there. And then we got this $25 for issue 39 with the undersea treasure hunt here. So again, these sell, and these are the prices of actual sold. So those aren't too bad. The asks are even higher, so you can see why these are actually the cheap ones when you factor things in. Because you look at the Mermaid book by itself, asking for $30. We have the underwater, scuba gear here. That's also about $30 by itself, as well as that final issue, issue 53, is about $30 by itself. So that's what I'm talking about. That's not too bad. If you can dig some of these out of a dollar box, as long as they're not too banged up, too beat up, you can make yourself a couple of dollars. And then as we get closer and closer to this movie, maybe there's a few more people that are looking for these things as well. Also, you see things on Instagram, like, again, James, he put this up there. I saw it, thought it was pretty cool, decided to look into it. Yeah, it's a book to keep an eye out for. It is, because I know what you're going to say. Well, look how much it sells for. Doesn't matter, because you don't know what's going to be in the box at the places you're going to go hunt, whether you go to a half-price books, you go to a flea market, you go to a yard sale. They may not know what they have. They just know it's a stupid Barbie book and they're just throwing it in a box. Even your LCS might do that. They don't care if it's a kid's title like that. They just throw it in a box and it's there if somebody wants it. So be that person who wants it and maybe make yourself a few dollars. And with that all said, that's all I got for this week. I know it's short, but it's been a long week for me. It's been a long week. So I need the weekend to get here pretty soon so I get a little bit of a break. With that, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for checking this out. I do appreciate all the support. I'm going to keep rolling, going to keep doing this week after week. So hopefully you're enjoying the content. And with that said, make sure you come back tomorrow, Friday, where everybody will get to see my top 10 and 10. Get off my lawn. Comic collecting show will be on live Friday, tomorrow night at 9. SNS will be back. The boys will be back. No impromptu shows for me and Marco this Saturday. SNS will be back at its regularly scheduled 8 p.m. time live here on the channel. And then Dark Side will be on Sunday at 9. And with that, I'll see you guys all later with some more content. All right, bye.